persuasive arguments about the impact of the consequences of this horrible tax legislation that was passed in December, and how it is wrong for the children of our nation. And so really, I invite you forward. I'm so grateful you're here.
Good morning. Good morning. Thank you for being here this morning. Thank you to this great organization for fighting the good fight for kids like mine. My name is Angela Eilers. I'm the mother of 3. I have twin 11-year-old boys and 9-year-old Micah, who's here with me today. I always considered myself fairly plugged into what was happening in our country and our government. I always had opinions on pretty much all of the most important issues our country faced. However, I didn't become an activist until November 10th, 2016. 2 days after the election, I knew would impact my family in a very serious way. You see, my daughter was born with a congenital heart defect. She spent nearly 3 weeks in the NICU after her birth. We were thrown into a new world of pediatric cardiologists, echocardiograms, and EKG. Micah had her first surgery just before her 4-month birthday. That was pretty much the scariest day of my life. A 2-week stay in the cardiothoracic intensive care unit didn't come cheap. But we had insurance through my husband's job, and frankly, I didn't even know there was such a thing as pre-existing conditions. I didn't realize that before Barack Obama, with the help of Nancy Pelosi, signed the law, the Affordable Care Act, individuals could be kicked off their plans because of an illness, a disease, or an injury, even if they were just 3 months old. Micah underwent her second open heart surgery at 11 months old. Again, we had great insurance, which covered every penny of that $250,000 bill. When Micah was about 2 years old, my husband was laid off from his job. With it, our insurance went too. This created the perfect opportunity for my husband to open his own business. He would only be able to do so because we knew we could purchase health care without being denied coverage for Micah. His business took off, and he employs several people in Orange County. One of the forgotten protections under the ACA was the elimination of lifetime caps. To date, Micah's cardio issues have generated $500,000 in healthcare costs. She met halfway to her lifetime cap at the age of 1. I knew, as they promised, that the first thing the GOP-controlled House and Senate would come for was the ACA. That directly impacted my child, her health, and her well-being. They were coming for her health care, for which we received no subsidies. After the election of 2016, I began calling my congressman every single day. I sent letters, I emailed him, I tweeted him, I did everything I could to get him to hear my voice and see Micah's face, hear her story. Surely I knew if he saw how adorable she was, he'd come to realize he needed to stand up to his party and vote in the best interest of his district. After all, she was just a child. She did nothing wrong. She deserved better. All of this fell on deaf ears. I sat at my kitchen table watching the House vote to repeal the ACA. My congressman voted yes, without so much as a town hall or acknowledgement of those who were begging him to vote no. I sobbed, and then I picked myself up and I said, I will do whatever I have to do to ensure that the Democratic candidate in my district won. Who we vote for matters. Protecting pre-existing conditions is just a talking point unless the candidate actually supports legislation to do just that. Who we vote for matters. If they aren't listening to your voice, how can they represent you? Who we vote for matters. The GOP has already told us who they are. They are looking to repeal protections for people like my child. Those medically fragile individuals who needed their elected officials to be their voice, to care about their well-being, and to do what's right for people, not for insurance companies. past 2 years, I've learned a lot about what using your voice can do. Share your stories, hold your elected officials accountable, and most importantly, vote for kids like mine all over this country who need people like you to stand up for them. Be a hero. I'd like to introduce you to the bravest girl I've ever known, and by far my favorite girl in the entire world, Micah Eilers.
Hi, my name is Micah. I'm 9 years old. I have 2 brothers, a mom and a dad. I have a pre-existing heart condition. I'm just like everyone else except I have a special heart and I go to special doctors. Thank you for having me.